this episode of Off The Script. Episode number 151, part number 1, for your Friday, January 6th, 2017. I got news on WWE drastically changing Wrestlemania 33. Also, Kyle O'Reilly, is he headed to the WWE? Also, Matt and Jeff Hardy, will they be coming to the WWE? According to Dave Meltzer, WWE has absolutely no interest in the broken brilliance of Matt Hardy.
Let me tell you something, JD. You're nothing but a smart mark, Mr. Know-It-All wannabe faggot here in the IWC. Let me tell you something, bro.
My fucking computer bugged.
Sami Zayn is nothing but a wannabe taxi driver, vanilla midget with no charisma. AJ Styles is the worst fucking wrestler on the face of the earth. Samoa Joe is fat, and Roman Reigns is the greatest in-ring talent since Bret the Hitman Hart. Go fuck yourself, JD, and fuck Off The Script.
JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off The Script. Big Show and Ryback, Strowman and Roman. Get off my fucking TV and save me the misery. And all you fucking goons, just grab a cold beer. The man of the hour is finally here. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off The Script. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off The Script.
Is he gone? Literally, man. Goons everywhere. Goons everywhere. I don't know where they come from, but they're like a fucking disease. They're like cockroaches, man. They never go away. Can't kill them. And they multiply, too. So, whatever the case may be, hopefully that's the last time we hear of the goon here on Off The Script. But thank you guys so much for joining me this weekend. Episode 151, part number 1. After an amazing week, according to everybody that fucking tweeted me. Oh, JD! Yes, I will watch it. I will watch it once I have some fucking free time. And everybody's coming to me about the Okada and Omega match at Wrestle Kingdom 11. I will watch it. I definitely want to watch it. The way you guys are fucking amping it up and hyping it up, some of you are saying it's the greatest match that you've ever seen. So I want to be the deciding factor in that one. I don't know about all that, but the way you guys have hyped it up, I'm sure it's a fucking classic, and I can't wait to sit down and watch it. I will be watching it in the English commentary. I can't watch it with the Japanese commentary. I like to hear people speaking my own language. Nothing against the fucking foreign commentators. I just want to hear American commentating. That's just my thing. So I will be watching that, and I can't wait to see Kenny Omega in all his brilliance. I actually listened to a sit-down interview with Omega and Jim Ross on the Ross Report just to kind of get where his mindset was and, you know, his mentality going into Wrestle Kingdom 11 against Okada. And he even spoke about the G1 tournament and about how grueling it is and, you know, where he wants to be and what his goals are in New Japan and what he wants out of Wrestle Kingdom 11, what he wants the conclusion to be, and where he wants to take the company. It was a very, very good interview, and Kenny Omega sounds like a fucking damn good guy, man. He's very relaxed, he's very down to earth, and he seems to have a very, very stable head on his shoulders, man. I like that a lot. I didn't even know he was Canadian. So there's a lot of things I'm finding out about Kenny Omega. Believe it or not, I have never seen one Kenny Omega match, and that's how, you know, far I am away from the New Japan product. And some of you might think that's a fucking shame and a sin, But I don't watch anything but, NXT, WWE. I dabble in, barely in TNA. I've just opened myself up to Lucha Underground this year. Maybe I should branch out. I made a resolution to everybody that I definitely want to watch, especially after what everybody said about Final Battle. Maybe I should get into some Ring of Honor. I would love to see New Japan grow, and I would love to have easy access to it, here in New York City. It's just, I got so much on my plate, literally. I'm not even using that as an excuse. I got so much on my plate with news and the podcast and trying to maintain a fucking regular schedule of gaming. I haven't gamed, I feel like, normally in months. Plus, I got my real life job that's a fucking pain in the ass. All this wrestling is so much overload, man. So obviously, something's got to be left out. New Japan has been left out. And the brilliance that is Kenny Omega and guys like Okada and all those guys, I don't have time to watch it, man. And it sucks. But the way you guys are talking about this, I'm definitely going to square away some time and watch this match. I'm hearing it went close to like fucking an hour. So, some unbelievable stuff there. I will get to it, and you will hear my thoughts on the podcast this weekend, all right? A few things I want to go over before we get into the news. I got a lot of news stories. I got a few stories that are very minor that I want to go over as well. I'm going to give you my thoughts on Bring It to the Table, that little sit-down ESPN-style show that the WWE debuted on the network this week. We'll talk about that, but what I want to go over first, man, I know you guys love the subscriber stories, and I got 2 of them this weekend, okay? And one of them actually came yesterday, and he wrote me a nice little note on Twitter, and I want to give him a shout out, and I want everybody that listens to this show all weekend long to keep him in your thoughts, man, because what I'm about to read you is very sad, and I went through the same thing as well. It was a death in the family. His name is Christian, and I want to read you his tweet to me that he laid out on my wall, on my Twitter wall. And it starts out by saying, "Hi, JD, my name is Christian. A few months ago, I tweeted you that my grandmother was battling lung cancer. A few days later, we had been informed that she had lung cancer and bone marrow cancer. A month later, she started to get really bad and started hallucinating. Then she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Today, Wednesday, January 4th, 2017, she passed away. I just wanted to notify you on this because during this hard time, you were the only thing or being that made me laugh in these months. I need to thank you from the bottom of my heart and soul for giving me an opportunity to not, giving me an opportunity to not think of something as harsh and sad in these times, but gave me some positive moments in my life for this difficult time for me and my loved ones. Thank you so much, man. You're saving me from a depression that will live with me forever. Thank you." And that makes me happy, man, that what I do can bring just a small smile to someone's face in such a dark time like that, man. I know how it is to lose a loved one, especially to Alzheimer's. My grandpa passed away from Alzheimer's, and I miss him very much. I think about him often. This was the second holiday that we had to spend without my grandpa. He was the glue that held the family together, and now it's looking like the family's really fucking falling apart on that side of the family, and there's, a battle over the money that he left in his will and this and that, and it's just a complete fucking clusterfuck of garbage. And none of my family, none of my brothers want anything to do with it. It's sad to see them all fighting over, money that my grandpa left behind, and they should be celebrating the fucking amazing human being that he was and what he did for us while he was here. So Alzheimer's, beat him, and he lost the battle to Alzheimer's. And I know Christian's grandmother, she not only battled Alzheimer's, but she battled 2 types of cancer. And my dad's mother, my grandma on my dad's side of the family, she passed away from pancreatic cancer. She was only 50. And cancer is a fucking disease, that I wish I could fucking just tell it to go fuck itself. Same thing with Alzheimer's. I'll beat it to death with fucking Lucille if I could. Seriously. But I want you guys to keep Christian in your thoughts, man. Keep Christian in your thoughts this weekend as he's dealing with that. I didn't have to read that. He didn't ask me to read that, but he posted it on my Twitter wall. I retweeted him. I quoted him. So I want you guys, if you're listening this weekend, to keep Christian in mind. And he states here in the tweet, from a fan to a wonderful human being. Thank you, JD. No, thank you, man. Thank you for everything that you've done for me and supported, and been supportive of me all these months. And, we wish you the best. And it's a tough time, man, but we're all here for you. I'm here for you. And you're going to get through it. I did it with my grandpa. You're going to get through it. And just think about how much great she did and all the smiles she brought to you. That's exactly what I do with my grandpa. So, you'll be all right, and we're all here for you. You are definitely in our thoughts and prayers. Another one I want to read to you guys, and I might as well keep this a regular thing. You guys have been fucking emailing me like crazy with the stories, and you guys just opening up to me. You like when I open up to you. You guys are opening up to me, and this is a public forum, man. This is just as much your show as it is mine. So I want to read to you, not only Christians, but I want to read to you something that was sent to me, and if I can find him, his name is Victor, and his name is Victor McCullen, and he emailed me, and he titled this email, "You Saved My Life." Hey JD, I found your channel about 2 months ago when the holiday season was starting and it was getting rough for me. I am a quiet combat vet that doesn't say much due to social anxiety, but I will say thank you. On December 25th, Christmas Day, I sat in my living room with my Taurus Judge in my hand, loaded with 5 410 shotgun shells in the cylinder. I know a 460's listening to me. I'm pretty sure he knows that verbiage and that language. Probably tell you what fucking, what make it is, what model it is, what year it is. Fucking horse, I love you, brother. But on a more serious note, I contemplated thinking about the handful of lives I wasn't able to save, and I can say I was the closest to taking myself out in recent memory. I cocked the hammer back and prepared to end it all when I realized you were posting a video that day. I never laughed so hard because of the hurt and anger flowing through my heart, simply because of you speaking the truth. The man of the hour, too sweet to be sour. Simply, all I wanted to say was thank you. You don't have to share this. You don't have to do anything with it. But you touched my little life, and I am a 1% supporter. And then he puts in quotes, a lifer. God is love. Vic. That means the world to me, man. I'm glad I can do what I do and be me here on this platform and bring a smile to your face when in that one moment you're feeling the most down you've ever felt or you're feeling the most darkness. I didn't know this show had that type of power, and I'm glad that it does. And I want to make sure you're okay. I'm going to continue to be here for guys like you and for everybody. I'm going to be here for everybody each and every fucking week. I am not missing a goddamn fucking show, ever. Okay? I love doing this show just as much as you guys wait for it in the sub box. And the fact that I do this because I'm a fan of the product, I'm a fan of wrestling, I love professional wrestling, and you guys wait, watch, and listen, and it has that type of power over you where it brings a smile to your face, it makes you happy when you're sad, it stops you from being depressed that day, it's the best part of your day. Or in Vic's case, he's feeling the lowest anybody could ever feel, to the point where he doesn't want to live anymore. That means the world to me, man. And I want to shout out both Christian and Vic for literally everything that you guys have done. 2 months. You found my channel 2 months ago, man, and you're a lifer. I appreciate that, and I'm going to be here for you as long as you're here, man. So thank you guys so much for all that. I wanted to share those 2 stories this week here on Off The Script. Who knows what we're going to hear next week? Who knows what we're going to hear next week? And I enjoy hearing your stories just as much as you guys love hearing about what happens to me outside of this YouTube world. So thank you guys for everything that you do for me. You know, it doesn't go unnoticed. Believe me, it does not go unnoticed. PayPal Rumble. I want to thank everybody for entering the PayPal Rumble, man. You guys are making it a instant success, and we got 3 weeks left to go, man. So you guys are fucking beast. I want to go over all the names right now. We got halfway through 30, man. We are halfway through 30 in the first ever inaugural Off The Script PayPal Rumble. Unbelievable. This is from number 1 all the way to entrant 14. I am keeping tabs on everybody in numerical order. Let's go over the PayPal Rumble entrants so far. If you guys want to join in on the PayPal Rumble right here on Off The Script, all you got to do is visit the description down below. It is the very top of the description. The link is there. The information is there. The prizes that you will win if you are chosen are there. We're going to choose 2 winners. You're going to get Off The Script t-shirts. You're going to get Funko Pop. You're going to get whatever else that I deem a great reward, man. I got a bunch of shit here that I got from the crates that I don't use that you guys might want, courtesy of Off The Script. And it's going to be fun, man. So we got 14 entrants. Who's going to be lucky number 15? All you got to do is enter the Rumble. $10 entry. Link is in the description. And these are the entrants so far. Mikey Farrow, Matthew Smith, Mario Maldonado, the Beast himself, Starscream, Ian Davis, Colin Wright, Nick Wolf, Florian Kreutzfeldt, Marianne Domagas, Patrick Pacheco, Harvey Davies, Ken McIntyre, Peter Fiala, and Corey Peters. Those are the list of the PayPal Rumble entrants. If you guys want in, $10 entry, link in the description. Join the field of 14, and let's round this thing out at 30 fucking entrants for the first ever Off The Script PayPal Rumble, man. Thank you guys so much for entering. It's going to be fun, man. Drawing will happen live right here on the podcast. Royal Rumble weekend, that Friday, for the preview and predictions episode of Off The Script for the Royal Rumble. My Patreon. You guys are kicking ass on the Patreon, man. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. If you guys want to pledge to the podcast, if you guys want to pledge to the channel, all you got to do is visit that. You're going to read the mission statement on there, and new prize tiers will be coming in 2017. So I want to make sure you guys are aware of that. New prize tiers are coming, and there's this little thing that I've been doing where I have Patreons ask me questions, and we answer them on Off The Script. Last weekend's podcast was the first ever Patreon Q&A. If you guys want to get your questions in, and you are a Patreon, go to the page and write on the message board whatever you want to ask me, man. We will have the Q&A at the end of Part 3 on Off The Script this weekend. And if you guys do want to pledge to the Patreon, that's patreon.com/JD from NY206. New tiers will be coming in 2017. And you guys get early access to Off The Script when it is available. So that is also one of the perks for being a Patreon. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206 and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not done so already. Please. That's JD from NY206 on Twitter and on YouTube. Slam Crate. Thank you guys for ordering your Slam Crates with the unique link that I provide down in the description below. If you guys want to save some money on WWE Slam Crate by Loot Crate, we are officially sponsored by Loot Crate and Slam Crate. Use the coupon code at checkout, JD from NY. You're going to save yourself some money, 10% off, and it is a bi-monthly subscription service. So make sure you guys sign up today so that you get February's crate, man. So you guys seen the unboxing for December. It was fucking great. We got a John Cena figure. We got a Bailey Bear. We got a great looking AJ Styles Phenomenal 1 t-shirt. Some good stuff in there, man. JD from NY at checkout for 10% off. WrestleRumble.com is coming. I spoke to Matt from Wrestle Rumble. I'm going to get wind of the prizes very soon, and the entries will begin, man. This is the most difficult not PayPal Rumble, but Wrestle Rumble that they do all year, man. The Royal Rumble is so unpredictable, but it's going to be fun, man, and I'm assuming the prizes are going to be worth the entry. So Wrestle Rumble is coming. I will fill you guys in. Bookmark it in your browsers. WrestleRumble.com. Soon, I will unveil the prizes as soon as they become available. Barbershop Window, if you guys want your t-shirts, man, thank you to everybody that ordered t-shirts this week. We had a weird influx of new orders following the Christmas season, but thank you guys, man. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. That's another great way to support the podcast. Barbershopwindow.com for your t-shirts. All you got to do is go to the website, type in Off The Script, get your JD is Negan t-shirt, get your Off The Script, get off my TV designs. You got Dana Brooke, Roman Reigns, Eva Marie, Big Show, they're all there. Or if you want to be sent to Goon City, that's also there as well. $19.99, they ship worldwide. So get your Off The Script merchandise today at Barbershop Window. And finally, guys, before we get into the small news articles that I have here, I apologize for not doing a Lucha Underground and NXT review for the last couple of weeks. I actually did not enjoy Lucha Underground this week. The week before that with Cage and Tejano, that was fucking awesome. But NXT's been in this lull for a little bit. It's been very boring. They really haven't produced new television. They're going back and they're showing and airing the shows that they did in Osaka and Melbourne, Australia. Osaka, Japan, and Melbourne, Australia. I am not interested in those shows, even though I can go back and watch them anytime. I'm hearing the TM61 match with DIY was fucking fantastic. I don't want to review something that already happened 3 weeks ago. I want new stories. I want progression. I will be back with the NXT and Lucha Underground reviews on the channel, on my YouTube channel next week, because we got Johnny Mundo and the Lucha Underground Championship situation there with the DeMac, and we got DIY and Revival. We got the rematch there for the NXT Tag Team Championships next week, so it's going to be a great show. I'm hearing Shane McMahon is rumored to be making an appearance down in NXT at Full Sail University. For what? I don't know, man, but this is what I am hearing right now. Whether those rumors are true or not remains to be seen, but NXT and Lucha will resume next week for those asking. Also, Omega and Okada, I will watch it, I will talk about it. I'm not going to review the entire fucking show, being that I don't know any storylines going into it, but I was thinking about doing a live review as you guys hear the background of the match in the video. I don't know if I'll get flagged for that. I don't know. I've seen several videos showing the match. I've seen several videos showing the entire fucking pay-per-view that immediately got flagged by New Japan. I don't want to put a live review up, a live reaction video with the sounds of the match in the background. There would be actual no footage in this video, but I want to give you guys my genuine reaction as I watch it for the first time. I thought about doing that, but I don't know if I'll get flagged for that. So if you guys have any idea if that's safe, if you guys have any, advice for me, should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I just watch it and do a regular review? You know, like I usually do, let me know. But I definitely want to give you guys my opinion on it, and that will be coming very, very soon, okay? Now, let's get into the news here, man. Some small news articles before we get into the main portion of the podcast this weekend. I want to go over a few things here. Seth Rollins apparently is getting new theme music, which I did not know. I found out about this literally about a half an hour ago. Seth Rollins is set to debut new theme music. Rock group Downstate, never even heard of them before, have dabbled in composition for WWE with entrance music. You know, they're not a stranger to WWE. Their resume is not as pretty as CFO, but they are responsible for songs as Zack Ryder's Radio and Dolph Ziggler's Here to Show the World. Now the group will also be responsible for revamping the theme music of former Shield member and WWE champion Seth Rollins. Since his departure from the Shield, Rollins has been entering the ring with his theme music that is not very strong for his character at all. You know, we really didn't know what to think of it when we first heard it. Then it kind of grew on us, and now it's just whatever. You know, we're just used to hearing it. Although it is getting somewhat catchy, nearly 2 years later, it still does not really signify Seth Rollins as the man. It doesn't signify Rollins as a world champion, okay? And the music from Downstate is not a vast difference at all. It does include lyrics now. It includes the motto of them singing, redesign, rebuild, and reclaim, which obviously was his catchphrase from his knee injury that forced him to relinquish the World Championship before all this happened. So that's what's going on with Seth Rollins. He's set to debut new theme music. I'm assuming it's going to be right around WrestleMania time. I would be surprised if it's not at WrestleMania, to be perfectly honest with you. So Rollins is going to be debuting new music, going to be the same thing, but an actual band is going to be doing it. It's going to have lyrics. It's going to have the same rhythm section. But, Rollins really hasn't done anything as a babyface, man. I mean, it's fallen flat. It's been downright awful and boring. And a lot of that has to do with WWE Creative. They really haven't done anything with Seth Rollins. I mean, how many times can we see Rollins and Jericho and Rollins and Owens? I mean, it seems like ever since the brand split went into effect, that's all we've seen. And it really killed Seth Rollins' momentum. This guy came out to a roaring fucking reaction, and he attacked Roman Reigns. Soon as he got back from injury, soon as he was cleared, he went right after Roman Reigns. I believe it was Extreme Rules, right? Went right after Roman Reigns. He attacked him. He vowed to have the title back. They set up that big match. The roles should have been reversed. Rollins should have been a babyface. Reigns should have been the heel. WWE did the opposite. They kept Roman Reigns a babyface, and they gave Rollins his heel shtick back. That didn't make any sense, and it really killed his momentum because they only did Rollins as a babyface after that anyway. And it fell flat. He hasn't done anything important. He's got no fucking fire. There's no spark in Seth Rollins right now. So maybe a change of scenery, maybe a change of opponent. I don't see it getting any better with Triple H. It's just something that WWE's doing because they wanted to do it last year with Triple H. And now that both of them are healthy, they're going to do it this year simply because that's all. Because that's all they got. And it's not going to do Seth Rollins any good, Seth Rollins needs a complete change of scenery. That's what he needs. He doesn't need, new theme music always helps, but it's not going to be a drastic change. He needs a new change of scenery, and he needs opponents similar style as him. We've seen the Owens. Jericho is great, but, how many times can you watch that over and over again? Seriously, Rollins is really falling flat. He's stale right now, not very interesting at all. Hopefully things change, and this new theme music is just exactly what he needs to kickstart that Seth Rollins momentum that we so desperately need on Monday Night Raw. Jeff Jarrett apparently is returning to TNA. This is confirmed. Dixie Carter, meanwhile, steps down as chairman for Impact Wrestling. A new report from PW Insider has confirmed that Jeff Jarrett is returning to TNA after what appears to have been productive talks with TNA's new owner, Anthem Media. So Anthem Media has completely bought out TNA. They are the new owners of Impact Wrestling. It also appears that he will be present at this week's Impact tapings together with his wife and wrestling personality, Karen Jarrett. PW Insider stressed in its report on Wednesday that Jarrett's return is a move that Dixie Carter wouldn't have stood for had she still been in control of TNA. Early this week, Dixie Carter resigned from her post as TNA chairman, with Anthem Sports and Entertainment officially taking control of the company. But while she was still in charge, Carter was quite upset over Jarrett forming Global Force Wrestling while he still had a minority interest in TNA. And with Jeff Jarrett's return to TNA now confirmed, this severs or serves, I should say, this serves as a sign that Dixie was, at the time the deal was finalized, completely out of terms in the decision making. And this is from Mike Johnson of PW Insider. I quote, "There is no way Dixie Carter would have allowed Jeff Jarrett to return. This is proof that she is now done completely." Also rumored to be present at this week's tapings in Orlando is Dutch Mantel, a longtime veteran of the wrestling business who was one of Jarrett's closest allies during their shared time in TNA. Mantel also worked several stints for rival WWE, including a 3-year run as Zeb Coulter, where he managed Jack Swagger, Cesaro, and in particularly a poorly received storyline with Alberto Del Rio from late 2015 to early 2016, which pretty much doomed Del Rio right from the start. PW Insider sources also added that Jarrett's return to TNA doesn't necessarily mean that he will be shutting down GFW, Global Force Wrestling. While further specifics of Jeff's role in TNA are currently unavailable, it is believed that his return to his old company will not impede any potential Global Force Wrestling business moving forward. I really have no opinion on this. All I could say is, quoting the great Machine Head from their second album, the album that followed Burn My Eyes, if you guys know your metal history, the more things change, the more they stay the same. I don't see this being a step forward for TNA. I don't see this being a rebuilding process for TNA if they're bringing in Jeff Jarrett. I mean, seriously, you're taking 3 steps backwards with a move like that. If Anthem Media wanted to buy TNA and run TNA and control TNA, the first order of business should be to sign everybody and square up your fucking roster. Get a roster ready. Get people in roles that you need. Creative and whatever else that you need. Get a new commentary team because Josh Matthews is fucking terrible. You hire me. You know, me and Matthew Ryan Shapiro are a better fucking team than the Pope and Josh Matthews. I mean, give me a fucking break. Seriously. But this is a step backwards for TNA. The more things change, which they certainly have, a lot has changed with TNA, but it just looks like things are remaining the same. This is not a progression. Jeff Jarrett is not a progression. Why he needs to be there and on TV and at the tapings, I don't know. This is not what the company needs. Pay your fucking talent. Here in the talent hasn't been paid for the holiday season. Matt Hardy's contract is due February 27th. What are you doing with that? Light talks, I'm hearing. I got news on that. Light talks. That should be your number one priority. You lose Matt Hardy, you are out of business. No matter what you do to change, no matter who you have as the new owner, you lose Matt and Jeff, you are done. You might as well close up the shop, and that's it. And on top of that, Drew Gallows, Drew McIntyre, he's looking to leave. Who else is looking to leave? I don't know. You know, maybe TNA should think about stepping outside Universal Studios and getting out there across the United States and actually touring and building an audience. You stay stuck in Universal Studios, that's not a recipe for growth. That's not. You see the same fucking fat slobs every single week. They're used to that. You need new blood. You need fresh blood watching the talent. Somebody that's going to pump some excitement into the fucking atmosphere at TNA. They have a lot of work to do. They got Dixie out of office. A lot of people were telling me, I'm not watching TNA because Dixie's still there. A lot of people on their social media, I'm not watching the TNA until Dixie is gone. Everybody thought Dixie was a cancer, that she made wrong political decisions. Now she's gone. What is Anthem Media going to do to really show everybody that we're in this to save TNA? We want to present this as a great product. Getting Jeff Jarrett to return is not the idea. It's not the plan. But one good thing that they did, they signed a contract with Hulu. They will now be streaming on Hulu. You're going to be able to watch TNA Impact on Hulu. So that's fucking great. That's going to usher in a new audience who didn't know what TNA wrestling was. Oh, wrestling, look at this. You know, you can catch up on Everything that's happening with TNA, it's going to be there. It's going to be streamed, you know? Maybe this is a door into TNA getting into more streaming services and streaming pay-per-views, you know? This is a good step. It's going to open more eyes to the company, which is great. But getting Jeff Jarrett to return, that's actually taking a step backwards, in my honest opinion. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. You know, what are they going to do with Matt and Jeff? That's the first order of business if you are the people running Anthem Sports. Sign Matt and Jeff. And people are saying that these people in Anthem Sports, they want to sign them, or TNA wants to sign their talent exclusively so that they do nothing else but TNA. That's a mistake. I'll tell you right now, that's a mistake. That's going to drive people away. At all. Because you think people are going to have faith and trust in TNA for them to stick with them exclusively? What if they're not paid for 6 months? They can't go to a Ring of Honor. They can't do the indies and get fucking paid. You know? You better make sure if you're going to sign people to exclusive contracts that your ship is running smooth as a baby's ass. Honestly. So, TNA in the news. Some of it's good. Some of it's the same old shit. Some of it, again, is just raising eyebrows, but Jeff Jarrett returned to TNA. It is confirmed, and it's coming. He's going to be at the next set of tapings. And the biggest thing right now after that is where Matt and Jeff Hardy will end up. I did upload a Off The Script extra video. If you guys want to go check that out immediately following this on the channel. It is a video about every possible Royal Rumble scenario, situation, outcome, and winner. And it's a 47-minute video. It's like an off-the-script regular, you know, in your sub boxes. I uploaded that on Wednesday night. Make sure you guys go and check that out. Very, very good listen. I break everything down. I go over all the possible winners and who they might face going into WrestleMania. And mainly it's about the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship and every possible outcome and winner possible that could happen on the 29th in the Alamo Dome. So make sure you guys go and check that out. I forgot to mention that. That is now live, and I would greatly appreciate some support on that. We're over 1,000 likes on that one, close to 12,000 views on that video. Let's pump that up to about 1,400 likes, if you guys didn't see that, and let's get that to about 20,000 views. I would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate that. Bring it to the table, and that's going to end my news, my little notebook here. Let's talk about Bring It to the Table, man, before we get into the actual fucking news here. I got news on Matt Hardy and Jeff, and I got news on Wrestlemania and Kyle O'Reilly. Bring it to the table. You guys wanted my opinion on this. It's a great fucking concept. It really is. I watched it. I listened. I thought Rosenberg did a good job. I thought Rosenberg asked the questions that really were on the mind of a lot of people, especially for that week. You know, the McGregors and the Rouseys and the fucking Monday Night Raw dilemma at 3 hours. And what is Undertaker going to be doing at WrestleMania? Who's Undertaker going to be fighting? You know, the AJ Styles rumor about him and the Undertaker. John Cena. Hulk Hogan. You know? But though it was a great idea, I think WWE merely created this show to do this, fuck you, to the fans, the internet fans. And the internet fan of the WWE is as loud as anybody. You know? They poked fun at everybody who cares about the product and turned it around as us complaining and bitching and moaning, and we don't know anything about the business. If you're not in the business, pretty much what they said, what was coded under everything that Heyman, who I love to death, and JBL, who was a fucking, absolute fucking waste on this show, what was coded under all of that is, if you're not in the business, shut the fuck up. Shut your fucking mouth. That's what I got from watching this show. And I don't appreciate that at all. And everybody was asking me, JD, did you hear what JBL said about Monday Night Raw's 3 hours? Did you hear about what he said about the 3-hour format for Monday Night Raw? Yes, I heard it. I listened intently. I didn't agree with anything the man said because he's a fucking goon. But what do you expect from a WWE produced show in vein or in light of Pardon the Interruption on ESPN? You know, at least on there, they are entertaining and they're real. This had some sense of realism from Rosenberg, but Heyman and JBL, they sounded way too political. Way too fucking political. I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but if you're gonna have a show that treads the line between kayfabe and not, you know, you can't swing both ways, bro. You gotta be one way or the other. Seriously. You opened the door already with the fucking questions that Rosenberg asked. Why don't you go all the way with that? Nobody likes the 3-hour Raw format. But WWE spinned it off with their fucking 2 co-hosts as we're bitching and complaining about Monday Night Raw. That JBL says we don't know anything about the business. That Monday Night Raw is going to be 3 hours until 2019. And it takes in, that third hour, takes in $173 million. I didn't ask how much money it takes in. I don't give a fuck how much money it takes in. It could be funding NXT completely. I don't give a shit. People are not bitching and moaning because they don't like Monday Night Raw. We all like Monday Night Raw. Deep down, we all love Monday Night Raw. We hate it, and we hate the way the direction is going for the show. Obviously, the 3-hour format is not working, but JBL is sitting there. Well, we got 4 cruiserweight segments that take up that extra hour. Are you fucking kidding me? How can you blatantly lie? How can you blatantly lie to your fans? The cruiserweights now take up 1 hour of Monday Night Raw. When was the last time on Monday Night Raw we seen the cruiserweights go over 3 minutes? There's 2 segments, if that, for the cruiserweight division, and neither of them last over 6 minutes. Combined. So where are the other 54 minutes, JBL? Goon? Clown? You fucking half-breed idiot? Huh? Where's the other 54 minutes? I don't know what show you're watching, but I know what I'm watching on Monday night. I'm watching one of the worst fucking shows on television. That is indeed 1 hour too long. Rosenberg they even grilled him. They grilled Rosenberg. Do you think Monday Night Raw should be 2 hours? And he was hesitant. He didn't know what to say. Good thing he said the right thing. Yes, it should be 2 hours. And then they zinged him and fucking made fun of him for saying, I enjoy SmackDown a lot more because it runs smoother. The 2-hour format's a lot easier. It's more. You get more in the 2 hours than you get 3. And they fucking knocked him. They made fun of him for it. This is what you're doing with the fans? Rosenberg, just picture Rosenberg being the entire internet fan base. That was JBL and Paul Heyman directing WWE's disdain for their own fans at Rosenberg. That's all it was. It was absolutely fucking nauseating to hear that Monday Night Raw segment. Yeah, we bitch and complain because we love the fucking company. We bitch and complain because we know the show fucking sucks. We know it sucks. And we want to see it get better. But they turn it around as, oh, the internet is only complaining. They don't know fucking anything. Based on that alone, this show is a failure. Based on what we've seen with JBL and the fucking political garbage that they spewed to Rosenberg, it is a fucking failure. All you needed to watch was one show. You can enjoy the format. The format's great. But the content, the dialogue, the fucking co-hosts that they got, you know? You're tying them up and you're not allowing them to speak anything bad about the company. Bring it to the table. They didn't bring anything to the table but fucking bullshit and politically fueled lines from the company's agenda. That's all they did. And that is the God-honest truth about Bring It to the Table. You guys wanted my thought? There you go. We talked about it on Out of Nowhere for a little bit. That's my full-fledged thought on Bring It to the Table. Don't ask me again. I probably won't be watching it again. All I needed to see was one show. After what JBL stated with that Monday Night Raw segment being 3 hours is great. I don't gotta watch a goddamn Bring It to the Table ever again, man. Show's a fucking flop already. Just because they wanted to act as if everybody is a piece of shit and they are always right. No, you're not. Raw sucks. And you guys know it. I know it. WWE knows it, but they don't do a goddamn fucking thing about it. Let's get on with the actual news here, man. We got big stories as it concerns Wrestlemania, Kyle O'Reilly and Ring of Honor, and Matt and Jeff Hardy. We're going to start off with the Matt and Jeff Hardy situation here. Dave Meltzer made a huge blunder in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. There have been rumors dating back to early 2016 that linked both Matt and Jeff Hardy to possible WWE returns, but now it seems that a return is a bit more doubtful this year than it was last year. Matt Hardy absolutely killed it in 2016. In my honest opinion, Broken Matt Hardy was the best character in all of wrestling for 2016. Matt even helped Jeff go crazy when Brother Nero became the youngest Hardy brothers' new persona. This time last year, it seemed easy to assume that Jeff Hardy would leave TNA Wrestling for the WWE, as WWE has always wanted Jeff Hardy back, and rumors of their interest in Jeff never seemed to die. However, an injury he sustained forced him to re-sign with TNA. With Hardy not yet really becoming the star he would go on to be, WWE seemingly had no interest in him. But there were rumors of him come back with Jeff simply because they could help the tag team division at the time. This was before the Broken Hardy thing. It seemed at least possible both men would jump, but with Jeff Hardy out due to injury, it seemed unlikely, so they stuck around in TNA. 2016 was truly ruled by things the Hardy brothers did. This started a lot of new rumors that WWE had an interest in bringing both back into the company when their deals with TNA expired. They happened to expire on the 27th of February, and neither man has signed a new deal as of this writing. Many see this as a sign that the WWE could bring them back, and I know Triple H definitely was reported saying that he wants Broken Matt Hardy back. So will they be coming back to the WWE? Not so fast, says Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer. He actually reported on Wednesday that WWE does not have any interest in bringing Brother Nero or Broken Matt Hardy back into WWE, despite what many in the industry have been hearing. TNA has been attempting to sign Matt and Jeff for months now, and would like for them to be exclusive to TNA and not wrestle anywhere else, including the Indies. Terrible, terrible, terrible move. If you want Matt and Jeff to go to the WWE, where they will compensate them for all that lost money, they will do it. They will go. If TNA is going to want to keep the Matt and Jeff Hardy thing going in TNA, they need to calculate the money that they will not be making in the Indies if you assign them to exclusive deals, and you need to pay them what they're worth. Because I can tell you firsthand, I've seen Matt twice now in person, and I've seen the crowds line up at these shows. When I tell you, when I went to go see Joe, and when I got that fucking deletion done to me by Matt Hardy, I had to wait 3.5 fucking hours just to get Matt Hardy to delete me. and he was supposed to wrestle in the main event that night. He went and greeted every single human being that came there to see them, and they smiled and did their thing, and they didn't fucking look back at all. And it took them up until a half an hour until they were actually scheduled to wrestle. They got dressed. Matt dressed up in his Broken Hardy gimmick. Matt did his thing. Jeff didn't even dress up as Brother Nero. He came out as regular old Jeff Hardy. They greeted everybody. And this was $25, $30, $50 a pop for tickets and fucking pictures and autographs and fucking video. You know, signed memorabilia, the t-shirts. Who the fuck knows how much money these guys made on that one night? And they do this every night. Everywhere they go. I called the House of Glory match with them and the Dudleys and Private Party and EYFBO. This Fatal 4-Way match at the NYC Center at House of Glory's 6-year anniversary. The line for these guys was wrapped around the fucking building. You have to give these guys what they will be missing if you are going to be throwing the word exclusive around. It's not fair to them. And WWE is certainly going to outbid TNA and Anthem Sports for Matt and Jeff Hardy. But Dave Meltzer's saying that they have no interest. I mean, if WWE has no interest in Matt and Jeff Hardy, they are the dumbest motherfuckers this industry has ever bred. There's no fucking way that they are not interested in bringing Matt Hardy. He's the most popular wrestler on the face of the fucking planet right now. You mean to tell me you're not interested in bringing this guy back? You mean to tell me you would not bring back both of these guys to revitalize your product? I guarantee you, if Matt and Jeff Hardy come back to the WWE, ratings will spike, interest will be at all-time highs in recent memory, and people will be rejuvenated and reinterested in the product. Look at what Matt and Jeff Hardy do with Impact compared to when they don't do anything on Impact. The fucking Final Deletion did over 1 million viewers for TNA. TNA on an average does not even break 200,000 viewers a week. Final Deletion did close to 1 million. Over 1 million. So obviously, whatever they got going on is working. Why wouldn't you want that? That translates into people interested in viewing the product because Matt and Jeff Hardy are there. And WWE, I'll tell you this right now. They need to get off their fucking throne. They need to get off their fucking high horse, Vince and Dunn and Triple H. And you need to do what is best for the fucking business right now. Signing these guys to exclusive deals to be a full-time performer is not the way to go. You're not going to give Matt a full-time contract where he's at house shows and he's doing 300 days a year. It's not going to work that way. You give Matt what he demands, what he wants, and you pay him handsomely. You let this guy do the fucking Evolves, and you let him do these indie shows, and you let him keep his creative control. You do not control Matt Hardy. Because as soon as WWE gets their hands on Matt Hardy, he will be jobbing to fucking Rhino on SmackDown. He'll be jobbing to fucking Roman Reigns on SmackDown. Matt Hardy won't be brilliant anymore. I'll tell you that. That's what they need to do. Get off your fucking high horse. Give this guy what he wants and do what's right for the character. For what he has created. Because what he has created, in turn, if you allow him to be who he has been in 2016 for the WWE, that will mean money. The money is going to come back to you. No matter what you think, let him be him. Let him do what he's been doing on a greater scale, on a grander scale with top-notch production. The money will be there. the ratings will rise, the viewership will rise, the merchandise will be off the fucking charts. Matt and Jeff will fucking outsell everybody on the current roster. I predict that. WWE has to fucking say, you know what? We're going to do something we normally don't do. Enough of the political bullshit. This is what needs to be done for Matt and Jeff. And yes, WWE is interested. Meltzer fucked up big time. Okay? Now, Brother Nero and Matt are making very good money working independents. And TNA would have to massively up their deal to sign them to exclusivity. Okay? And Matt Hardy alone has been a huge name that companies have been trying to bring in a lot. So he continues to get a ton of dates for indie events, and his merchandise sells extremely well. Jeff Hardy often accompanies his brother or will do a big event without him and still see good payment as well on his end. Regardless, neither man would sign an exclusive deal unless it was with WWE, where the money would certainly make sense as well as the recognition. It is said that if Matt stuck around with TNA, that TNA would really like to use him on the creative team more in 2017. Of course, that is most likely why they want both Hardys to stay in TNA exclusively, where they could use them a lot more, especially Matt Hardy. Obviously, neither man has come out to claim that they signed a new contract to stay with TNA, but there is an indication that they might have come to some sort of terms. Both Hardy brothers will appear on Fact of Life on Impact on Thursday night this week. As I'm recording this, it's actually airing right now because I taped this on Thursday. And it's a segment run by TNA star Eli Drake, who's also been linked to rumors that WWE also wants Eli Drake. It is said that they have a big announcement for the show, which could indicate that they will announce they have re-signed to stay with TNA. I don't know. I will find that out. If not, it could always be something interesting yet crazy as always, so we cannot be certain. The only thing that does seem certain is that they won't return to the WWE this year, or at least according to Dave Meltzer, who went on to say that it was a mistake and that the WWE is indeed heavily interested in both Hardys. The thought is that with Triple H being interested in them late last year, he would easily sign them to some sort of role in WWE for at least a year. Sadly, that may not happen, and both Jeff and Matt will end up staying with TNA. So we should not expect exclusivity, especially if the price they offered is not very high in comparison to what they can make from TNA Wrestling, plus the Indies, Ring of Honor, and everywhere else they want to work. TNA just did announce that Dixie Carter sold her majority stake to Anthem Sports, meaning the money could be there to use. Of course, TNA would have to offer a lot of money for Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy to be exclusive. Again, the only company that seems to make sense at this point is the WWE. So that is what's going on right now with TNA and Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy in the WWE. Those are my thoughts on that. You know, that's what WWE needs to do. They need to really fucking get off their throne and say, you know what, these guys are so big right now that the money that we're going to see in return is going to be triple what we imagined. That's how big they are. And that's how vital they could be to the WWE if WWE allows them to be who they are. So hopefully, I would love to see it. There's a lot of dream matchups. There's a lot of fucking tag team dream matchups. A lot of one-on-one dream matchups that I love to see. So hopefully we see it. It would be good for WWE. It would be good for us. It would make 2017 fucking memorable for everybody if Broken Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, Brother Nero, went to WWE. Ring of Honor star Kyle O'Reilly refuses to sign a new deal days before Wrestle Kingdom 11. Is a jump to the WWE actually happening? Ring of Honor Wrestling has produced some of the top names in all of pro wrestling, including CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, etc., etc. And it looks like they hit a home run with Kyle O'Reilly, someone who, you gotta pardon me, I am not all too familiar with, because I don't watch Ring of Honor. I obviously have heard of him. I've heard great things about him. So they are now worried, Ring of Honor, that they would lose one of their top names to WWE yet again. Kyle O'Reilly has been amazing in his Ring of Honor career and even capped it off with a Ring of Honor championship at Final Battle against Adam Cole, who's also rumored to be headed to the WWE. Now, Adam Cole's Ring of Honor deal is coming up in a few months, and there is a lot of worry amongst Ring of Honor officials that they may lose Cole due to various companies that want him, including Triple H and WWE. WWE has expressed massive interest in the past, and Cole himself mentioned he would love to go there when the time is right. This means that the two certainly will work together down the line, but could do so as soon as this summer. Meanwhile, Kyle O'Reilly is yet to sign a new deal with Ring of Honor, and his deal is up much sooner if it's not already done. Ring of Honor felt that they could keep him when they threw the Ring of Honor World title on him, but the plan seemed to backfire. According to Pro Wrestling Sheet and Ryan Satin, Kyle O'Reilly turned down a new contract from Ring of Honor a few days before Wrestle Kingdom 11 this past week. He beat Cole in December for the title, and the rematch was also against him, in which Adam Cole won the title back. So it makes you wonder, is Ring of Honor close to signing back Adam Cole since they gave him the world title? I don't know. Or is Adam Cole going to drop the title back to Kyle O'Reilly? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what is going on, but it was very interesting to see that Adam Cole beat Kyle O'Reilly for the title, and the roles pretty much reversed. So now Kyle O'Reilly didn't sign a contract, and now WWE might have him in their sights, pretty much. So, like I said, O'Reilly lost. That made 0 sense for Ring of Honor. If they always planned for him to lose after a month, then why take the title off Adam Cole? Many believe the company went through with it because they wanted to make history with Cole and yet still give O'Reilly a title to make him very happy. However, it was not enough to stay. It said that he did not sign a new deal with Ring of Honor because he wanted to see what other options were out there for him in professional wrestling. WWE has been rumored to have some sort of interest in O'Reilly. They would love to grab Adam Cole too, but WWE is smart enough to realize that while Cole is possible in the future, Kyle O'Reilly is already good to go. Kyle O'Reilly is only 29 years old, and that is around the time WWE seems to hire guys these days. It is likely that he would be signed to a deal that puts him in NXT almost immediately, and that would be perfect for him. He is small enough to be considered a cruiserweight, which means he could go right to the main roster if WWE felt he would be a better fit for that area. I don't want to see that. However, WWE would be smart to put him in NXT. A lot of people felt that Kyle O'Reilly would stay with Ring of Honor and that a new deal would be signed. This is why he was not on anyone's radar to leave entering 2017. However, now that he is right there for the picking, WWE would be smart to grab him now before anybody else does. The Young Bucks, Jay Lethal, and Bobby Fish all re-signed with Ring of Honor. Most felt that at least one of those were out the door and that they would make room for them down at NXT, but Ring of Honor heavily pushed to get all those guys signed, and they did. Now Kyle O'Reilly is hanging in the balance, and they don't know what's going on. The problem is, if they have no real plans to keep him involved in the world title picture for long, then it would not make sense to stick around. If Ring of Honor only put the title on O'Reilly so that he would stick around, one would imagine that they would have done at least, or they would have at least let him hold on to the belt for a little bit longer than a month. Funny enough, they asked him while he was the champion to sign a new deal, which makes many feel like they only handed it to him to begin with so he would sign a new contract. Based on that alone, if Kyle O'Reilly feels that way, pretty much he's out the door. You know, maybe they didn't think of him as a world champion. Maybe he wasn't even in the picture or plans at all, and they gave him the world title because they didn't want to lose him. And they felt that if he was happy that he had the world championship, he would be like, everybody loves me, everybody cares about me, they consider me a future piece to this company, and let's sign a new deal. So if Kyle O'Reilly has any feelings at all, as if they just gave him the world title when they don't really think of him that way, just to keep him, he's out the door, man. Any normal, level-headed human being would be out the door. And he might be looking at NXT. William Regal has strong ties to Kyle O'Reilly. You know, maybe William Regal could be a spokesman or a mouthpiece to get Kyle O'Reilly into the company. Because the level of respect and the mutual respect is there. You know? Who knows? That's what I'm going with. I think Kyle O'Reilly is headed to NXT. Just based on that alone. So, we'll see what happens with that. WWE right now is very disappointed that they have not been able to steal away some of the other top guys from Ring of Honor and New Japan. And Kenny Omega, his name is being talked about, but a lot of you guys seem to think that Kenny Omega is going to stick it out in New Japan for at least the time being. He will be coming to the WWE. It's only a matter of when, not if. He will be coming to the WWE. He even said it on Jim Ross's podcast. There's a lot of guys in that company that he would love to have a program with. He would love to have a months-long program with, and just have fun with it. It would be fun for him. And Kenny Omega in WWE, NXT, man, he could be the face. He could be the legit face, more so than a Nakamura and a Balor and a Zayn, a Neville. He would be the quintessential face for that company. And I think WWE knows that. His stock has only risen. Even in a loss to Okada, his stock is fucking through the roof right now. Everybody's talking about Kenny Omega. But WWE is disappointed that they didn't steal a Jay Lethal, a Young Buck, Matt and Nick Jackson. You know, it would be smart of them to grab O'Reilly knowing that he could do some damage in the WWE if given the shot to prove it. Triple H and, like I said, William Regal are probably very aware of who he is and know that an NXT job would be a great plan for him. We'll have to wait and see if they decide to pursue him heavily now that he is a free agent. Let me know what you guys are thinking about that. I think exactly what I mentioned. I don't think Ring of Honor thought of him as a world champion, and they merely gave him the title to pretty much coax him into signing a new contract when they didn't really think of him that way. If he feels any resentment towards that, or if he feels that he was played, he may be out the door, man. So Ring of Honor might have fucked up royally with Kyle O'Reilly. We have news on Wrestlemania here, and WWE is reportedly making changes to the Wrestlemania card. Don't know what these changes are. I went over literally every situation possible that could come out of the Royal Rumble in Off the Script Extra about the Royal Rumble. If you guys want it, I'll link it in the fucking video. Hit the exclamation point and watch that motherfucker after you listen to this, okay? WWE reportedly making major changes to WrestleMania 33 as recently as this past September. Neither Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, or The Undertaker were scheduled to be in the Royal Rumble match. Boy, how things have changed. As a matter of fact, of the three, only Lesnar was expected to appear on the pay-per-view at all. WrestleMania was even a major question mark for The Undertaker, and Goldberg's involvement wasn't even supposed to go beyond a Hall of Fame induction during WrestleMania weekend. Now all three marquee stars are entering the Royal Rumble match. 2 are confirmed. Undertaker, we're assuming, is going to say something about the Royal Rumble on Monday Night Raw, which he is confirmed for. So that's jumping the gun there, but we're going to see what The Undertaker has in store for Monday Night Raw. He is expected to make it official this coming Monday when he returns to Raw. Brock Lesnar and Bill Goldberg are already being advertised as headliners for the match, as the winner, of course, earns a title shot of his choosing at WrestleMania. I don't know if that's true either. I'm thinking if it's a Raw guy winning it, it's for the Universal title. If it's a SmackDown guy, it's for the WWE Championship. That would just make things too confusing. There's nobody that's going to want a Universal Championship title match over a WWE Championship match. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. At least with the big gold belt, it had history behind it. The Universal title is a fucking, it looks like it came out of a fucking Juicy Fruit package. Or a box of Skittles or something. You know? It's a fucking disgusting piece of shit. Anyway. Damn, I love Skittles, man. You love Skittles? I love Skittles, man. I love Juicy Fruit, too. Oh, not Juicy Fruit. Fucking, what are them fucking things? I don't know, man. It looks like a fucking fruit roll-up. You know, fruit by the foot. You guys remember fruit by the foot? I know your fucking mothers packed fruit by the foot in your lunch boxes, man. Don't give me that shit. I know your mothers packed them and fucking Dunkaroos. You fucking clown. I had them. I had them motherfuckers in my snack box, man. Dunkaroos and fruit by the foot. That's a blast from the past right there. Anyway. Starburst was what I was going for. Looks like a fucking Starburst. Anyway, enough of the fucking candy. It's not Halloween. Goldberg agreed to return. It wasn't supposed to last past Survivor Series as far as wrestling was concerned, but his comeback was an instant success. And the two sides agreed to an extension, and their agreement should close out with a WrestleMania match with Brock in April. Fortunately, Vince and The Undertaker mended fences from a frayed relationship coming off WrestleMania 32, but he still needed to recover from hip surgery to compete again in WWE and complete his comeback. Now, Shane McMahon was rumored to have gone down to Texas. Remember that earlier in the year? After their WrestleMania Hell in a Cell match, Shane McMahon flew down to Undertaker's part of town, and he pretty much convinced him and mended the relationship. So Shane McMahon mended the relationship between The Undertaker and Vince McMahon and WWE, and he brought everybody back together, and now The Undertaker seemingly will be at WrestleMania, thanks to Shane McMahon. So there you go. Something that you guys might not have known. So, as noted, all three will be featured on WrestleMania inside of the Camping World Stadium, I believe it's called, in 3 months. And last week, we reported that WWE had matches lined up, possible Roman Reigns and The Undertaker, and all this other fucking bullshit that you're hearing. That WWE has 3 matches locked in right now for WrestleMania 33. Fast forward to this week, and while those 3 matches still remain in place, which are Rollins, Triple H, which is most definitely happening, Goldberg, Lesnar, I'm assuming that's going to happen, it's the only thing that makes sense, and John Cena versus The Undertaker, something that Vince McMahon has gone back and forth on, but it makes sense. Those are the 3 locked-in matches right now. But the newest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that key changes have been made to the rest of the card. Those changes have yet to be confirmed. But to reiterate, Meltzer says 3 matches booked so far for WrestleMania are Triple H versus Seth Rollins, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar, Undertaker versus John Cena is in pencil right now. Also, you could probably add Shaquille O'Neal versus, well, it's the big gay. Yeah, some match there. I know what I will be doing during that match. Either taking a fucking dump from the massive amounts of fucking chicken wings and pizza rolls that I will be consuming that afternoon, or all the hoppy beer that I will be intaking, or I might just take out the trash, or I might walk the cat around the block, or I might fuck your sister, something along those lines. Something along those lines. Shaquille O'Neal versus Big Show. I'd rather fucking watch WrestleMania 32 all over again. That's how fucking bad I don't want to see that match. And you guys know how much I hated WrestleMania 32. The Undertaker is confirmed for WrestleMania. We know this at this point. But a finalization of his opponent is not yet known. As noted, he is booked for Monday's Raw and should be announcing his entrance into the Royal Rumble match. Rumored, not really knowing what's going to happen. It's being rumored. We don't know for sure if that's the case. It's been speculated for the past 2 weeks that the Dead Man is now one of the favorites to win it and go on to challenge for the Heavyweight Championship, which seemingly John Cena will win from AJ Styles. Now, Vince McMahon is trying to decide between John Cena and Roman Reigns for The Undertaker's WrestleMania opponent. 2 polar opposites. One is a Hall of Famer. The other one is a complete fucking sleep fest. Roman Reigns. No man gains anything from Roman Reigns. Neither will The Undertaker. Raw stands for Roman always wins. This is who you want to go against The Undertaker, right? Somebody that nobody respects at all. Great job, WWE. Can't wait to see this one fall flat on its face while I drink a Guinness and laugh and point and come on here and say, listen, you fucking assholes, I told you so. Again, I will be proved right. Can't wait to see it happen. But I want Cena and Undertaker. Just because. I want to see it. I want to see it. That's all I care about. And this will certainly, or could certainly be The Undertaker's last match. The decision will be made internally in the next 2 weeks. Meltzer is reporting that WrestleMania will be finalized in the next 2 weeks. Okay? And it will be all set. We'll know by then. See what happens then. Of course, the direction of WrestleMania will determine the direction they take with the Royal Rumble. Aside from The Undertaker's opponent, the rest of the card seems to be up in the air. Despite reports, I might do a video on my WrestleMania card, the most accurate I could make it. We'll see what happens. We won't do that until Elimination Chamber time. Despite the reports that Bayley will be given the Daniel Bryan treatment this WrestleMania season, which I will talk about this weekend for sure, WWE officials are still debating the plan for the women's division on Monday Night Raw. They have narrowed things down to two options: Bayley versus Charlotte in a singles match for the title, or a multi-woman match for the belt. As mentioned, be on the lookout for news regarding the rest of the card in the next 2 weeks, according to Dave Meltzer, as anything else before that remains all speculation and rumor. I will talk about the Bayley-Charlotte situation and how WWE is going to book Bayley on the road to WrestleMania. I will talk about the multi-women's match that we talked about on Out of Nowhere. I'd love to see a ladder match with the women at WrestleMania. We will see what happens there. So that is what's going on with WrestleMania. Things are heating up. Things are being talked about. Things are going to be finalized in the next 2 weeks. As long as nothing includes Roman Reigns and The Undertaker, we should be A-OK. So that is the news on that. And this Bayley situation is definitely one to talk about as well. But I will get on with that later on in the podcast. That is all I got, guys. This was a massive episode of Off the Script. Unbelievable. What am I sitting at right now, man? I'm over an hour. Easy. Close to an hour and 20 minutes. So if you guys don't think I love you, seriously, I love you. All right? But that is Off the Script, guys. Thank you so much for everything. If you enjoyed the video, hit that fucking thumbs up. Do you know that it turns blue when you hit it? When you touch it, it turns blue. I know you like blue. I like blue. I love blue, man. I'm thinking about getting a blue Mustang. But I think I might stick with the gunmetal gray. But it does turn blue. And if you guys want to see magic, just hit it. Okay? Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. I definitely want to thank everybody for voting for Off the Script in WrestlingRadioAwards.com. I will post it down in the comments section. I forgot to mention it. We made the final cut. We are now nominated. We are now nominated for Best New Show of the Year and Best Show of the Year. We have very stiff competition. I doubt we win it, but with you guys and your persistence, we might actually do it, man. So, Wrestling Radio Awards, you all can only vote once a day now. Before it was you could vote as many times a day. Now it's only once a day. And I didn't know it was going to end up being, you can vote once a day, but if you want to vote more, you got to buy votes. You got to PayPal these people votes or money for votes. So I don't expect anybody to do that. But apparently there's some type of Royal Rumble pool that they're holding, whatever the case may be. WrestlingRadioAwards.com. Vote once a day for Off the Script. Best New Show of the Year and Best Show of the Year. There's also other categories: Sexiest Female, Best Match of the Year, Interview of the Year, which probably will end up being Solid Monster with Bob Holly, because that was fucking awesome. So you guys can vote for that. But vote WrestlingRadioAwards.com. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. All that other shit I talked about in the beginning of the video. Do it because I said so. And you love me. Thank you guys so much. I will be back with part 2. Bayley, we'll talk about that. What's going to be happening with her and the storyline going into WrestleMania. Apparently Paige is pregnant. Rumors about her pregnant from Del Rio. Del Rio destroyed a fucking nightclub in Austria. Got into a bloodbath with his brother. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about that as well. Real reason why Shawn Michaels is appearing on Monday Night Raw with The Undertaker. Identity of La Luchadora from SmackDown Live. If you guys have been following me on Twitter, you know who it is, and it's exactly who I thought it was going to be. WWE was not happy with Dean Ambrose and Renee Young relationship getting out on live television. Plans for Samoa Joe, Ty Dillinger, Liv Morgan, and The Revival after the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania 33. Plans for them on the main roster. Major changes coming for Sasha Banks. Backstage plans for Bayley's road to WrestleMania. All this, plus so much more on Off the Script. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Until then, I'm JD. Have a great day. And I'll see you guys right back here at 11 a.m. Talk to you later.